Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's Rare Character Day! We've got two limited releases, Ryes from Rare Character. Batch number 1, which we've had open for the while, been drinking on. And then batch number 2, picked up this probably a month ago by now. It's been floating around.
But just opened it. It is a fresh crack.
Batch 2, fresh crack. Batch 1's been open a while. So batch 1 is bottle 2023 out of 2600, 123.76 proof. 61.88 ABV. Batch 2 is bottle 1216 out of 2615, 119.44 proof, or 59.77 ABV. Batch 1 is on your left, batch 2 is on your right. I've drank both. I have my preconceived notions of them. Have you had each of these?
I've had one. I have not had two.
Interesting.
And I'll tell you on the nose, two is tickling my fancy a little more than one.
I agree.
Just saying.
Without sniffing either or drinking either, one to me, very traditional, very herbal, very 95-5-ish type drinking rye. Number 2, drinks more like a Kentucky rye to me. Drinks with a nice little caramel vanilla hit, and then quickly switches into the rye backer. Now that's what I think. Let's see what the experience is.
It definitely smells more herbal on the nose.
Got a lot of herbal, a lot of spice, not a lot of sweet.
I would think from the nose that this was a rye.
Yeah. Golden color. So they're non-age dated.
Definitely tastes like a rye, drinks like a rye. Very easy sipping though.
Distilled in Kentucky and Indiana. Aged in Kentucky and Indiana. Aged in new char oaked, bottled by Rare Character in Lexington, Kentucky.
So
that's batch 1.
This is a blend.
Correct.
Of Kentucky and Indiana rye.
Correct.
Interesting. I wonder where the Kentucky rye is coming from. I'm guessing the Indiana rye is a 95.5 MGP rye.
This drink's very rye. Not a lot of sweet, but a ton of just different spices, pepper that rides, ton of spices. Like this reminds me of a really good traditional rye.
It does drink sweet.
Ooh.
But it's got a lot of depth and character to it. It's not just like sugary sweetness or brown sugar.
It's almost like a light honey.
It's got kind of a honey. I think more of a rich, deep honey, followed by some clover or clove that I'm getting there. I actually think that's pretty darn tasty.
I think it's really good rye.
I like the palate a lot more than I like the
I agree with you. No, I think batch 1 I always have described to other people as it's a rye drinker's rye. If you like rye, you like foolproof rye, you're going to respect
I think it
batch
is
1.
Full of flavor. I am getting more of the rye notes. It is more spice dominant, but there is some sweetness up front. I think it's very well balanced.
I feel like it doesn't have a lot of floral to it.
I'm not getting a lot of floral.
And I don't get mint or dill or any of those other.
No dill.
Sometimes
I might get just a hint of mint, but it is a hint.
It's very light. And it's way back at the end and finish. And the finish...
See, for me, I get it more mid-palate, but it transitions very quickly into those more predominant rye spices, a little bit of barrel tannins. I mean, I think this is very good whiskey. I think this is probably a low 8 for me somewhere in that range.
I would agree. It's actually drinking really good tonight. It's drinking great.
It's tasty.
That's one thing I want to say. 2025, the year of no ryes. 2024, there were ryes all over the place. And they were bangers. There were so many great ryes that came out last year. This year, nothing. This Rare Character Hot Everyone's drinking Rare Character right now. Everyone's loving it.
Yeah, Rare Character has been...
Dude, so many single barrels. To be honest, I haven't been a huge fan of a lot of them. There's been a lot of store picks. I'm like, A couple here and there going, ooh, that's pretty good. This, very respectable.
Wow.
Isn't batch 2 different?
Very different.
Mm-hmm.
This drinks caramely to me with a little bit of what I would normally call like a wild turkey funk.
The nose is totally different.
Yeah.
Like the nose, I don't get spice off of it. I get caramel.
Indiana. Yeah, this is very caramely.
But
it's got that little bit of funk, which is probably the rye characteristics that's coming through.
When you read the back label, it says the exact same thing. Distilled in both Kentucky and Indiana. Bottled or aged in both Kentucky and Indiana. Aged, right, in new charred oak, and bottled at the Rare Character facility in Lexington.
I mean, this definitely leans more rye-ish. This leans more bourbon-ish.
Yeah. This almost drinks like a burr rye with the caramel here actually lasts a really long time. Like the caramel is almost a predominant note.
Yeah.
And the spice complexity in the background is almost a secondary thing. Like it's weird. Like this I almost think is older. I don't think it necessarily is. It's mostly because the sweet note is covering up the rye aspect and the baking spice and the spice, right? And I don't know, I can't tell whether that's aged oak or whether that's rye spice. I can't break it out.
Yeah, I don't...
I love the colorful bottles.
Their bottles are great. The artwork on the front of the bottles are fantastic. They do great stuff for the single barrels. Tailor it to the store.
If you were to look at this bottle, do you would think this bottle came from Arizona or Nevada or from Kentucky?
I would think Utah.
You would think,
Utah. Arches National Park when I see that, which I think is in Utah, but I could be very wrong.
Southwest, clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, you got cactus and stuff. I mean, I would almost think
that looks Arizona-ish. Yep.
Yeah, I would almost think these bottles were coming from our friends at who's down there in Southwest.
Well, in Nevada they have Smoke Wagon.
Yeah, I would think Smoke Wagon bottles.
Then there's a bunch in Texas. Utah has High West.
Yeah, Park City.
Which it kind of looks like some of the High West stuff.
It does.
And I would say that this drinks kind of like the Burr Rye. A little bit. Because this does have a lot of bourbon characteristics, but it does definitely get into the rye spice.
Interesting. I know which one I'm going to like better. And there's next to none of one left. I'm sure these two would be really good blended together.
Did you just do that?
No, I have next to no one left. I'll do it. I don't know if it's going to be enough to take over the sweet.
I mean, you have plenty of one left.
Yeah, but we have plenty of one.
I think these are very comparable whiskeys. They are for different drinkers, though.
Yes.
And depending on the day, I think I could go to either one of these. And on a certain day, I'm going to prefer this. On a certain day, I'm going to prefer this. I think they're both low 8 whiskeys to me. They're very good. They are crafted well. They present a lot of flavor. They're well balanced. They are different. And that's what you're looking for in different releases. You don't want this to taste exactly like this. They're not going for consistency. They're going for, this is a completely new batch, just as good. And I think they are on the same plane.
Yeah.
Again, these are both, they're low 8 whiskeys. Anywhere between like an 8.1
super high 7
to on a good day like an 8.4, 8.5.
Yes.
That's where both of these are.
Do you agree, rye drinker rye?
I think this is going to lean more towards your rye drinker. This is going to lean more towards your bourbon drinker. Tonight, on this day, I am preferring batch 1. That's me. every time I go back to batch 2 though, I enjoy it. Today, this one is just a little bit better for me. I don't have a whole lot left, so we'll just...
Oh boy, don't do that. No. Here, give me that to me.
I already did.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Is it good?
Just a...
That makes me think it's good. Or bad.
No, it's really good.
It smells really good.
So, I only had a poquito amount of one, like really small.
I mean,
like, I probably had a fifth of the amount of one that I had of 2, and it just added more of the rye characteristic and dialed back a little bit of the sweet. Look, most days batch 2 is gonna be my jam for rye. It's true. I like the sweet punch. The spice is in the ballpark. So 7 days out of 10, I'd probably take 2. The days that I want the rye, I'm all about 01. I think it's a pretty rock solid pour.
Yeah, I think I'm more evenly split on this. I think either day you give me one of these and I'm going to be happy.
Was your blend a 50-50 blend?
Pretty close.
Mine was
I mean, at this point, I think it's backwash. Jesus.
I know backwashing my sip. It poured in my mouth.
I'm just saying.
You see me sticking out my tongue, licking the glass? What the heck, man?
Check the tape. Check the tape. I think I like my blend better.
Your blend is more rye. Yeah.
Which makes sense because I did like this one a little bit better.
You can tell from the blend you have a little bit more of this in the mix because all that spice, mid-palate characteristics follows through, and it lasts really long on the palate.
Yeah.
I like them.
I think they're very good. They're not cheap bottles, but I think they're every bit of $100 whiskey. They are well crafted. They give you good flavor. They look good. The only issue I have with these bottles is they are hard as hell to open.
Hey, do you have the official
it's not
official opening tool?
I have seen on Instagram or YouTube or one of those, somebody has a wooden tool that has rare character in there. This is just from Lowe's. It's just a tool that we use to open these because these bottles are incredibly hard.
The wax here is ridiculously thick. Oh. This takes Jim Beam Nog Creek wax to a whole nother level. It's really simple. It's a 2-man job. If you have 2 people, you take that cobalt cutter, clamp it towards the top of the bottle so you get onto this wood cork piece. You don't get onto this piece. And you just clamp on and cut through and compress through this. And you have one person hold it, the other person just twist the bottle. You'll have your bottle open in 5 to 10 seconds, right? Versus you try to pull this tab, dude, it's a nightmare.
It's tough.
The tab breaks, the wax won't crack. You'll be working at that thing 15, 30 minutes, right? It's just, and you'll be frustrated. If you're going to do rare character, get the cutter, get the tool. Have a friend do it with you. It's so much easier and rewarding.
And that's our review of Rare Character Batch 1 and Batch 2 Limited Edition Ryes. As always,
keep the whiskey flowing. Cheers. I'm all out of whiskey.